Paris Saint-Germain 1, Manchester United 2. A Bruno Fernandes penalty and a late Rashford saviour. He's not saving kids and feeding them. He's saving Manchester United. A wonder goal winning it for Manchester United. Wow, us Ollie Outers have been sat down. We better disappear. We better go away. We've really been sat down. We've been embarrassed. Our agenda exposed. What will we do? We've been defeated by the loyal Manchester United fans who don't speak the truth. Or maybe our point from last night's performance has proven us right. Mick, are you insane? They won. Ollie did a tactical masterclass. Ollie did what Ollie always does. He's a one-trick pony. He only knows how to play counter-attack football. Last night, he played counter-attack football and he stumped the PSG manager and the team full of world-class players. Don't forget, PSG were last season's Champions League runners-up. And they have got players like Mbappe, etc. World-class players. Well done, Ollie. You can play away from home. Your record away from home is sensational. We have won every game away from home this season. But at home where every Man United team should be dominant and winning games and scaring the opposition, we've seen the complete opposite. Why? Well, I'll re-say what I've just said. Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer cannot dictate the game. He doesn't know how to do it. All he knows what to do is sit back and hit on the brake. And he does it with pace. And he does it effectively. You know, big props for that, Ollie. And last night's victory was massive. I know we beat them last year as well. But this was massive. This was amazing. Of course it was. It was a great performance. But this doesn't sit down Ollie Outers. First of all, his insistence not to play Van der Beek again. But we forgive you, Ollie, because we were playing one of the best sides in world football, the best club, one of the best club sides in world football. We understand. And what did I say about Fred? Fred is our good luck charm. Mostly when Fred plays, we win. Why he was dropped in the first place, I'll never understand. Fred should be your first person in that team, Ollie. Brilliant player. Brilliant player. Not enough people shout out his name because he is amazing. He's the number one destroyer at our club. He's absolutely fantastic. And it's interesting, isn't it? All these kind of, Glazer out Muppets and, Ed haters. Where are they? Where are they? Well, they're the Ollie Inners, by the way. They use the Glazers and they use Ed as a deflection so we don't focus the flaws of Ollie's management style, right? Today, Ed is going to a conference call. He's basically announcing the financials. This will be an excuse for basically Woodward outers and Glazer outers to shout their mouths off. But one of the big things they always say is that the Glazers don't ever give their managers enough money. Bullshit. And something else people don't talk about, the huge investment the Glazers have made via Ed with our youth system. Axel Tanzabi, I don't know how to say his second name, hadn't played for 10 months. Last night, Ollie had to throw him in because both of our first choice centre-backs were out injured. Now, it's like what Klopp's been saying, right, about Virgil van Dijk. When you lose a defender like that, you're going to be going down in the pool of players. So people saying like, we should have bought another centre-back because we got two of our, top-class first-choice defenders out, right? Who does that? Who can have, who can have 5 or 6 centre-backs or, people of the same position, on the bench? It can't happen, can it? So anyway, they've been shouting from the rooftops that we had a crap transfer window. Now, again, Van der Beek. And again, I forgot the player, the Spanish player, who was amazing last night. That's another player. Now, only a month ago we bought Bruno as well. So Player investment is there. But you can't attack a board and a chief exec because they're not willing to spend 120 million during a pandemic where there's no fans, there's no paying customers allowed to go in. And again, when I look at Sancho, he's a good player, but he's not worth that money, and I don't think he's one of the best top six players in the world. Dortmund were taking the piss. Manchester United knew that Dortmund were taking the piss. Months ago, they made an offer. They rejected it. It was over. But the scoopers and the transfer specialists, like Romero, whatever his bloody name is, right? Were insisting that more was happening, and United still wanted to make another bid. Of course, that wasn't true, but the media were just working on the past interest. United made one bid, it was rejected, and they said, fuck you, we're not mugs, like you all think we are, we're not spending any more on this player, goodbye. And that was the end of it. We bought in Palestri, I can't remember the Spanish guy, but basically, right, one of our signings was on the bench, 40 million, right? So no complaints from Ollie. He was given money. He bought someone. It's looking like he didn't choose this player. But again, when we talk about Van der Beek, he's done nothing wrong when he's played for us. And he's a top quality player. Everybody knows that. But for some reason, he's not being played. We do have an embarrassment of riches in the midfield. Different types of players like Matic, Van der Beek, Pogba, Fred. We've got an embarrassment of riches in the midfield, which is great. It's great for Manchester United. I would like nothing more, because this is when I throw in the Chelsea home game. Is it Sunday or is it Saturday? Whatever, right? We've got a home game where we've been outclassed and beaten well by two London sides. There's another London side coming on Sunday to play us at Old Trafford. Will it be the same result? Because if it is the same result, then this one-off victory doesn't really matter. The victory at Newcastle doesn't matter. I predict that Manchester United will not lose any away games, even to the big two like City and Liverpool. I believe that. I believe no one can touch us away from home. Even if we get a few draws, I don't think we'll lose. I think the place that we're going to lose is Old Trafford. Because as I keep on coming back to, we have a manager that is a one-trick pony who can only play counter-attacking defensive football. And as I say, he does it well. He sets it up well. The players were sensational. Pogba came on and really made a difference as well. As I say, we've got an embarrassment of riches. In fact, the anti-Glazier mob and, the anti-Woodward mob have been screaming from the rooftops, our first team is shit. Our squad is shit. And guess what? Who's not playing in this season's squad? Phil Jones. The player they've been screaming about. Now, you can understand on the wages he's on, no one wants him, right? But as I've said before, many players who, we don't rate or other fans don't rate are paid a lot of money. But apparently it's only Manchester United who put people on long contracts who they don't pick. No, lots of clubs do it. Is it right? No, it's wrong, but it happens. So, although Woodward and the Glazers are not perfect, I'd rather stick with them for the time being. They've made mistakes with manager selections. We've been there and done it. Talking more about last night's game, I wasn't sitting there upset because a manager I want to be ousted from the club won a game of football. But you can't even enjoy a victory for your club because you've got all these Ollie inners. You see Ollie outers, and they do like little gifs of an animal crying or something, right? I'm not crying. I've just told you. Last night's victory proves the Ollie outers right. That away from home, when it's easy, non-pressured, counter-attack football, we're brilliant. But when we're at home and the opposition are asking us to dictate the play, we can't do it. And now Ollie has to prove us Ollie outers wrong by setting up an attacking formation against Chelsea at home this Sunday and beating the living shit out of them. Because if we can dispose of, right, so straightforwardly, last season's runners-up in the Champions League, Chelsea should be a piece of cake. And I don't say it glibly. I respect Frank Lampard as a manager. They spent 80 million quid in the transfer market, and they look fucking awful. They're good going forward, but defensively, last night they actually got a clean sheet. It just tells you that the team they were playing probably shoots blanks a lot, right? So we're playing a team with a shit defence, but a good attack. So it's going to be interesting. In fact, Ollie can play his usual tactics against Chelsea because Lampard's just going to come forward. He's not going to be defensive. Although I can see what he did last night, Lampard. He's a bit scared, right, of the goals they're leaking, so he tightened things up a bit. But the problem with tightening things up a bit, when you're an attack-minded manager, it takes away what you can do going forward. So Lampard will be in two minds how to play it. So if he does go for the jugular Lampard, Ollie can do his normal tactics, and we've got a real go. Didn't we beat them at Old Trafford last season? So look, I don't think Ollie is the worst manager ever. He's inexperienced. I think he can play a certain style that works. So he's not the worst manager ever. But he has to change in certain ways. He can't keep on having favourites. He has to find a place for Van der Beek. He has to. The problem is at the moment we're changing the team too often. So there's no understanding. No, he's decided to play the squad game, which I think is interesting. Now, obviously, we had to put in a centre-back who hadn't played for several months, and it worked. It was amazing. He'd obviously been training for quite a while, more than they actually let us know, because that lad looked fucking amazing last night. Fred was my man of the match. Fred is amazing. I stand Fred. Fred is an amazing player. Guess who brought him in? Jose Mourinho. Not bad, hey? Not that I'm a big Jose Mourinho fan when he was at the club. But hey, his signings were pretty good. I know Pogba's inconsistent, but who knew, right? And so we had a really great performance. We had a really great performance last week. And if we win against Chelsea, I'm going to stand there and say, well done, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm finally a believer. If we set out and dictate the play against Chelsea and we destroy them and we win well, I will be Ollie in. I will. I absolutely will be Ollie in. If we win that game, we do the right things, and we finally win a game at Old Trafford this season, I will be Ollie in. I will absolutely let all my Ollie out rhetoric go. I'll tell you that today. Here's your receipt, everyone. Here's your receipt. I will be Ollie in if we win this Sunday. But I am really, really concerned about our home form. I really am. And this is the one thing. I'm happy with the two away performances. It's amazing. We've played so well, right? Newcastle are not the best team, but PSG are. There can be no doubt about what we did against PSG. But the big challenge now is our Old Trafford form. Sort that out. And if our home form is as effective as our away form, not only can we win cups and do well in the Champions League, but we can really go at this league. And that sounds ridiculous, but I think anyone can win it this year, even us. This is the opportunity. A big opportunity for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to sit people like me down and say, I am capable. I want him to do well. I just don't have 100% faith in the man. And that's okay. What I don't expect from my fellow Manchester United fans is to say that you sat me down because I have doubts. I'm just being honest. I'm not pretending to be 100% loyal. It's not about that. I want our club to have the best tools to dominate English football. And right now, I don't feel we have. I think we've got a marvellous set of players. Really good players have come in. He's bought really good players. I can't fault his player selection that he's brought in. But at the end of the day, Sunday is a massive test. If he passes that test, I'll definitely be Ollie in. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with more videos. See you again soon.